this whole fraught debate about critical race theory, that a lot of schools, particularly in more well-heeled areas, are sort of sorting people into what they call affinity groups, kids based on your pigmentation, and that this is done in the name of liberalism, but is actually fairly illiberal. If the idea of education is you should be taught critical thinking skills, and that life is about living in a liberal democracy is about self-actualization as an individual. If you are taught to think of things through group justice and group injustice, and if you're white, you happen to belong to a culprit pigmentation, and if you're non-white, you belong to a victim pigmentation, this pretty quickly becomes a highly racializing way of teaching children. Now, there were exaggerations about critical race theory, but they were based on a kernel of truth that I think a lot of people, a lot of parents experienced. And again, Glenn Youngkin weaponized that and turned it into a quite surprising middle-class suburban vote swing towards the Republicans, in spite of everything going on, the January 6th fallout, people's fears about the future of democracy. San Francisco, is where the sort of laboratory experiment of extreme identity politics liberalism has gone furthest. To the extent where schools that were called Abraham Lincoln's school had to be renamed because Abraham Lincoln was part of the white patriarchal racist, et cetera, and I think again parents already, if you'll excuse my French, pissed off with the lack of person-to-person teaching over such a long period of time, just lost their patience and threw out a bunch of these education board ultra liberals in special recall elections. If it's happening in San Francisco, the most liberal city in America, then I think there's a message there for the Democratic Party.